Hi and a very good morning to my beloved lecturers. My name is Tillaga. To fulfill the requirement for assignment number 5, research methodology and data analysis, I come up with the topic the influence of role conflict on early retirement intention among senior teachers, job satisfaction as a mediator. Here, I will explain about background of study, research objectives and research questions, methodology, expected findings and summary. First and foremost, I will explain about background of the study. I choose this topic because there is a desire for early retirement among high school senior teachers in South Zone, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka and Johor, significantly increasing according to Public Service Department. So, more comprehensive study should be done to study is there any influence of role conflict and job satisfaction on early retirement intention among senior teachers in secondary schools in the South Zone. In addition, detailed studies need to be done to identify what other factors are involved contribute to the early retirement of senior teachers. There are 4 research objectives. 1. Identify the level of role conflict, job satisfaction and early retirement intentions in senior teacher. 2. Identify the significant difference between role conflict, job satisfaction and senior teachers' early retirement intentions based on demographic variables, gender and age. 3. Assess the effect of job satisfaction as a mediator on relationships between role conflict and senior teachers' early retirement wishes. 4. To explore the factor that contributes to the early retirement desire of senior teacher in schools. Next is research questions. 1. What is the level of role conflict, job satisfaction and early retirement intention in senior teachers? 2. Is there is a significant difference between role conflict, work satisfaction and early retirement intentions of senior teacher based on demographic variables, age and gender? 3. Is there is an effect of job satisfaction as a mediator on relationships between role conflict and early retirement wishes of senior teachers? Number 4. What are the factors that contribute to the intention of early retirement among senior teachers? Research design. This study is a cross-sectional survey design that uses a mixed method approach, which is a combination of quantitative and qualitative approaches. The researcher chose this method because it is very suitable for the study and the combination of both is very helpful and complements each other's data from one source to another. In this study, for the quantitative approach, the researcher used a questionnaire as a measuring tool, while for the qualitative approach, the researcher conducted semi-structured interview to obtain more detailed data to answer the research questions. Through quantitative approach, the researcher used the questionnaire to obtain information about role conflict, job satisfaction, and early retirement intention among senior teachers. Researcher distributed the questionnaire to the respondent via Google Form. To obtain a clear and more detailed information about factors that contribute to early retirement wishes among senior teacher, researcher used a semi-structured interview instrument. The respondents are among senior teachers in secondary schools in the southern zone, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Johor, who have intended to retire early. According to Crosswell 2014, there are 4 types of mixed methods in research design: explanatory, exploration, embedded, triangulation design. This study using explanatory design, where the researcher will conduct a quantitative study first, then followed by a qualitative study. This design is appropriate because the researcher can make the characteristic of the respondent from the quantitative findings to select a purposeful sample in a qualitative study. Explanatory design involves two phases. The first phase, quantitative research to obtain information about role conflict, job satisfaction and early retirement wishes of senior teacher in secondary school, and the second phase involving a qualitative study to obtain information about the factors that contribute to the intention of early retirement. With these two methods, the researcher obtained more comprehensive research findings to answer all research questions that have been constructed. Next, this study will use statistical analysis to explain relationship and influence between variables. Especially with implementation of this study, every variable used can identify the influence of role conflict on senior teachers' early retirement intention and then examine the influence of job satisfaction as a mediator on relationship between role conflict and senior teachers' early retirement wishes. Let's move on to the population. A population is defined as a group that has similar characteristics and features in the same category according to Crusoe 2014. In general, the population selected in the field of education consists of group of individuals such as teachers and students who have certain characteristics that are set. Accordingly, the population of the study is senior teachers who are teachers that plan to opt early, and they are chosen from the secondary schools throughout the southern zone. Data can be obtained from JPN Negeri Sembilan, Melaka and Johor to find the number of population senior teachers in the southern zone. Sampling technique. Sampling technique or procedure is the process of selecting units from the target population of the researcher's interest. The researcher has used a random sampling technique where schools are grouped according to southern zone. This is for ensure the southern zone have representative to conduct the study. This technique was found to be more effective in obtaining information from each strata. Sample size. A sample is a small proportion of the population selected for observation and analysis. For this case, as mentioned above, the population would be secondary school from southern zone and there are 215 secondary schools in southern zone. Research instrument. This quantitative study uses 3 instruments as stated there. Modification of the term or reworded done for all the 3 instruments to ensure that the instruments are appropriately evaluated by teachers in Malaysia. The questionnaire used is study consists of 4 parts. Part A, role conflict with 15 questions. Part B, job satisfaction with 36 questions. Part C, early retirement intention with 5 questions. Part D, demographics with 7 questions. Qualitative research instrument. Semi-structured interview instrument used to examine the factors that contribute to the early retirement of senior teacher. The main purpose of qualitative approach using semi-structured interview is to support and strengthen quantitative findings in addition to obtain more detailed explanation to the quantitative finding. Interview protocols. There are 3 questions given. First, brief sharing of the respondent's background, age, teaching experience and duration of holding the recent post at the school. Second, question about the expected age to retire. Third, the factor that motivate respondents' desire to retire early. Data analysis. First, the data was collected through a questionnaire comprising 63 questions which would primarily depend on relevant literature to prepare the questionnaire. The questionnaire would be piloted among 30 respondents to understand user friendliness, check for the possible language error, and more importantly, to assess if it contained the appropriate content and able to measure the required skills. Validity and reliability tests are essential before finalizing the questionnaire. Analyzing package IBM SPSS would be used for statistical analysis for the collected data. Descriptive analysis would be conducted for the demographic part of the analysis. The data would further be analyzed based on the 4 research questions mentioned above. The analysis would also investigate about role conflict, job satisfaction, and early retirement intentions. ANOVA and t-test would be employed to analyze the data to answer the research questions. Now I will explain about expected findings. This research carried out to identify the influence of role conflict on the desire of early retirement among senior teachers in secondary school in Southern Zone. At the same time, the study will examine the influence of job satisfaction as a mediator in relationship between a role conflict and senior teachers' early retirement wishes. Descriptive analytical task result for the role conflict and early retirement wish among senior teacher would be at eye level, while job satisfaction will be at a moderate level. There is a significant positive relationship between all 3 variables. The findings of the study about dimension of conflict on the ability to implement various roles will have significant influence on early retirement intentions. The job satisfaction will have a significant influence on early retirement intention. For role conflict, there will be positive influence on early retirement intentions among senior teachers. Job satisfaction will have a positive influence and become mediator in between role conflict and desire of early retirement among senior teachers. Qualitative findings, the researcher would find the factors that lead to the intention of early retirement, such as work environment factors. The senior teacher would be not skilled in using ICT for solving tasks and conflicts regarding the ability to perform various roles and career satisfaction, while the personal factors would be have problem, have strong finance, family life, want to enter other field, and want more meaningful time for them. As a conclusion, this study deserves special attention from all the parties, especially school management, district education office, state education department, and the Malaysian Ministry of Education on the importance of taking proactive action to reduce the increase in the desire for early retirement among senior teachers. Thank you.